I'm just going to take a few questions before we move on to our closing address. Just a comment first, rather, from Martina Maloney, former Chief Executive, of course, and a member of NOAC now, saying that NOAC has been briefed on debt collection approach in Wexford, which is exemplary, and she would recommend anybody seeking to improve performance in this area to engage with Tom and his team, as Wexford have done a fantastic job. So thank you for that, Martina. Just on MODOS, Linda in Galway is asking, is there any data available yet on the benefits for the businesses when implementing learnings, or I suppose what kind of feedback are you getting there? Mary or Joanne maybe could take that.
Yeah, we've got some good feedback from the businesses. What they've told us is that they really want to implement circularity and change, but at the moment, I suppose they don't feel there's enough supports available to assist them in that process. So they've spoken about the need for financial supports and ones that are easy to access and use. They also, I suppose, want access to trusted expertise. Some of them spoke about how they might have spent 6 months researching packaging and then found that the products weren't what they thought they would be. And they very much want to continue to be supported in their networking so that they can collaborate with each other. And so that was some of the initial feedback from the Dublin region pilot or the programme this year. And we're just also going to get feedback from the national, and we're hoping then to be able to take those issues forward and see what we can champion to put those supports in place.
Thank you so much. And Kieran, I suppose, has the recent formation of the new government impacted the goals of the Carrows? It's an interesting question.
Well, I think what's happening, to be honest, is that the targets are continuing to be raised, and that's coming not necessarily from any new government. Certainly, they're reflecting what's happening at an international level and a European level. So the fact that we have put together our new strategy, our new strategic document, is a reflection of those changing targets. So I don't see, it's not particularly a new government, but it's really being driven by events elsewhere as well.
And there's another question there about asking, can you share details of the URDF scheme in Sligo and the emissions trading scheme? So I presume you'd be happy to share that with anybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, we might put something up on the website alongside our recordings. The presentations will be available after the event, and the recording of this event will also be available. It will be available on NOAC's website, which is noac.ie, and lgma.ie also. And the last question then to the last two, I suppose, Pippa, Noel and Niall, how important is creativity and well-being now in the middle of the pandemic, and particularly, I suppose, in the middle of level 5 restrictions? Just maybe a brief answer from you all there.
Is it okay if I start?
Yes, Pippa.
Lovely. And creativity is really important. Like, it's something that you see in everything from a tiny baby when they learn how to do something the first time, right the way through to when people are, at home, active age, looking for things to do. On a national level, it's been embraced as a mechanism to support wellbeing, and we saw that last week with the Building Resilient Communities campaign, where both Healthy Ireland and Creative Ireland are working in partnership to try and bring that out nationally. But if you think as well of, say, just the status of Limerick City and County Council, like last night we broadcast a autumn concert series that normally people will be able to come and visit. That's providing employment for the practitioner. The performer is a pianist, and it's bringing this concert to a particular age group and a particular audience that wouldn't have been able to access it otherwise, and supporting them when they can't leave their houses. So thanks very much.
Thank you. And Niall, maybe you could answer for Cork County there.
Yes, I think it's very important, and we would liaise quite a lot with our Creative Ireland section as well. And even when it comes to activities like play, we have an excellent initiative in conjunction with Cork Sports Partnership. It's called the Let's Play initiative. So I suppose everybody has found that we all need to be very creative, even when it comes to daily activities throughout this year. So I think creativity is of very high importance in dealing with the conditions that we're dealing with at the moment.
Thanks a million. Listen, thanks everybody who took part here. Kieran, I can't finish this session without wishing you well on the new direction in your life. I know you're leaving local government, taking up a fellowship in Harvard in climate action. We wish you all the very best with that, and no doubt we'll see you again in some form or other as we move forward on our climate action journey.
Thanks very much.
Briefly, if I could also just thank my own team here in the LGMA before I move on to Tim and the closing address. To Eddie, Siobhan and Deirdre for all the work they put into it, for the NOAC staff who also supported it, and the members of NOAC for all their help. To Gary and Mark who bore with us through all of our technical glitches this morning and got us there in the end. Thank you to everyone, and to Paul John, our Chief Executive, and the executive team in the LGMA for their support for the event.